Hello and welcome to our internet show, Title Talk. Title Talk is a short internet show where guests discuss topics in real estate, title insurance, and financing. I'm Debbie Malazza with Advantage Title Group. Our guest today is John McLaughlin with Loan Depot. Welcome to Title Talk. Hi, John. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, how are you today?
Good.
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Well, we know you you've been in real estate for quite a while. And now you're in lending. So let me just ask you a few questions that will be of interest to our audience. I guess all the talk now is about the rising interest rates. How do you think rates now are going to affect a buyer's purchasing power and prices of homes?
I mean, buyers have to be more prepared now than ever before because, I mean, if you're going to be renting a home, it's 100% interest. So it's the key word people are focusing on is the rate, but really the payment is what people are budgeting for. There's a joking phrase in the industry, if you want to say, you want to marry the house and date the interest rate because you're going to live where you're going to live, but you can always refinance or change your terms later on, depending on your position. If you want to either refinance or put down more cash, buy points to get a lower rate, there's ways to improve the rate and the payment that don't always come with what people expect to have to do to make that happen. So you've got to live somewhere. So we're all facing the same challenges of costs going up, but whether you're gonna be renting or buying, having a plan and being organized on how you approach this, you know your budget, you know your cash to close, you know your position in this market, that is gonna put you a step ahead of the rest.
Right. Have you seen a reduction in loan applications because interest rates are higher?
I've seen people that want to buy, they don't realize that their position to be able to buy is impossible because of what they're looking for. The demand is still out there, especially for the right homes. You're seeing multiple offers still. You are seeing buyers doing what they have to get into the right homes. Once you've missed a house, or you've been looking for a little bit and you realize that, hey, when the right house pops up, other people are going to want that house too. People realize I got to get my act together because they're going to miss the home if they don't jump on it.
Right. What should be expected in the housing market moving into 2023?
Lower inventory is still going to be what appears to be the trend because if you're a seller, you're thinking, where am I going to go if you want to sell? And especially if you have to sell in order to buy the next house, you're thinking, I don't know where I can buy. And with the costs where they are right now, if you refinance in the 2s and 3s in the last couple of years, the pain point to move has to be really high right now. So if you're thinking, all right, I want to downsize or upgrade my home or relocate, if your rate or your terms are really advantageous right now, you're still paying a lot of interest on the front end of your mortgage. And it's putting you in a position to say, I'm good where I'm at. So the lack of inventory is going to be a problem that's going to linger. And that's going to make prices continue to go up. We're seeing, I believe, year over year compared through August last year, we have, I think, 1% fewer homes listed, and we have 12% fewer sales. I'm sorry, 12% more sales than there were last year. So we've got more homes sold and the same amount of homes on the market. The demand is still there. It's just when the right house comes up, people got to jump on it and be prepared.
What are some tips for working with a lender that will aid in expediting getting to the closing table?
Sure. Working with a lender, there's a misconception that negotiating your rate comes from calling 4 or 5 different lenders and shopping the rates. And while you're certainly within your rights and your ability to do so, there's so much more that goes into the rate than just figuring out who's online that day that you're catching your PPC click with to get in touch with the lender. There's easily a dozen or more points that go into what your rate will be, what your terms are going to be. It's not just the rate, it's what's your credit score, what's your loan to value, in other words, what's your down payment. Debt to income ratio plays a factor in that.
Right.
The type of loan, whether it's conventional, FHA, USDA, VA, there's lots of different variables that get the rate. And there's ways to improve the rate and your position in shopping for a particular product that you can do well in advance. So being transparent is number one. And number two, being open to work through a plan, because you can waste a lot of time finding the right house and then losing the house once you're under contract with the wrong lender. If your financing falls apart, it's more painful once you're under contract and you lose that deal than taking the extra month to get prepared. I'd rather you take the extra month and get prepared to make a more attractive offer than get excited about a house and then it fall apart because something that could have been prevented.
Right. What type of loan programs does your company offer? Like first-time home buyer, the Hometown Heroes program, anything like that?
Oh yeah, so it's the Hometown Heroes program is phenomenal. It's designed to reward those in the community that are we'll call them heroes, right? Teachers, first responders. They just added in assistants, public defenders. They just added those to the program as well. So yeah, we've got a public defender that's working through the program now, and it's fantastic. So it's 5% of the loan amount, up to $25,000, and it's treated as a soft second lien. So it's not free money, but it's 0% interest, no payments, and when you ever sell, refinance, then you would pay back the cash on that closing statement. But there's other programs as well. Most of them are either ran by the state or there's other unique programs. There's the Genoa program, which offers either 3.5% or 5% of the loan amount as well. Some versions of that program are repayable. Others are forgivable. Just the fee and cost structure is different depending on the program. And there's also state bond programs that offer down payment assistance. And for first-time buyers, the way the state treats those are if you've not owned a home in the last 3 years or occupied as your primary residence in the last 3 years. So this has happened a lot in some divorcing situations where you've not called a particular home your primary residence for at least 3 years. Well, you've owned the home, but you've been able to call a different home your primary for at least 3 years. You can buy sooner as a first-time buyer, depending on certain situations. But lots of different programs, lots of different options for first-time buyers, and the key for first-time buyer is this is going to be a lot of things to figure out, and you want to find the right house. And so knowing payment, cash to close, and working within terms that are comfortable for you comes with working through a lot of steps. So the sooner you get your paperwork in and we can verify that, you get more transparent information.
Okay. Any tips on how a client can save money when buying a home?
Yeah. So yes, because the rates are high.
You're breaking up a little bit.
People are using. Oh, can you guys hear me okay?
Okay, that's better. You were breaking up there for a minute. Did we lose you?
That
Oh, you're still breaking up.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Let's try this.
Well, we'll just wrap it up. Unless you have any advice you'd like to give people that are new to your industry.
Sorry, I lost you for a second there again. So I think you're asking, hopefully you can hear me now.
Yes.
I was trying to connect to Wi-Fi in the background. You gotta love how smartphones are not very smart. So anyways, if you were to take around $18,000 and put it down towards additional down payment, what do you think that would save you per month? Taking a $300,000 loan, putting down $17,000 or $18,000, how much do you think you would save per month by bringing down that additional cash?
At least a couple $100.
About $100, right?
Yeah.
So in today's market with the rates where they are, between, we'll say $16,000 or $17,000 saves you about $100 a month. Well, the same $100 a month you can save by bringing, in most cases, around $5,000 to $6,000 and buying down with points. And depending on the seller situation, price is just a test. And if we're trying to get affordability into the picture, most sellers are willing to help some buyers lower their payment by offering a seller credit if you negotiate it into the deal. So there's ways to be creative that don't require additional cash out of pocket to reduce your payment and cash to close as well.
Right. Okay, final question. If members of our audience would like to get in touch with you, how should they contact you? I know your number is scrolling across the bottom of our screen here. Is that the best way to reach you?
Yeah, that's the best way. My LoanDepot email is also just jmclaughlin@loandepot.com, but call, text at the scrolling number on the screen. I guess that's there. Yep. Best way to get a hold of me for any questions.
Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate you giving your insights, and that will wrap up our show. Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thanks.